nobody has this top 14 albums of 2023 list except right here. Number 14th best album of 2023 goes to The Above by Code Orange. It took me a little bit to get around to listening to this one. I had a lot of listening projects this year, and I kept skipping over it. Code Orange really grabbed my attention with Underneath, and Above, I love that the album titles are like that. It continues to grapple my skull, to grip my brains. More often than not, even the greatest bands can get samey over the course of multiple songs, and you know, fans want that. Fans want the same songs, and bands certainly do that. But Code Orange, they are making rock and roll interesting and dangerous again in a way that nobody else really is. And even when it's bad, sometimes it's bad, it's never boring. The highlight of this record, The Above, is The Mask of Insanity Slips. Number 13 best album of 2023 is Life is But a Dream by Avenged Sevenfold. The Avenged Sevenfold are using some of those same strengths of variety in 2023 with their weirdest album to date. Game Over gives me exactly what I wanted vocally, and then kind of forces me to listen to a bunch of musical ideas that I didn't know my ears wanted to have in them, but they did. Avenged Sevenfold albums since self-titled have not really been my cup of tea until this one. So I like Untitled, the white Avenged Sevenfold album, and this one the best. Fight me, man. Please fight me. Number 12! We got a classic rock band here. Classic rock band alert. Rolling Stones, Hackney Diamonds. The poppiest Stone albums to date, or at least in decades. And it absolutely works for me. I love the features, and most of all, Angry is just a really solid single. And I'm glad that they're having so much success with that. Number 11. Now, this is not a rock and roll only list. So I've got a little bit of an oddball here. We've got Nas with King's Disease 3. How does Nas keep up with the quality when he is doing this kind of quantity of albums? Nas has put out 3 albums in 5 months, and they could all have ended up on this list. KD goes harder than all of them, though. KD 3, wow! I don't know when Nas plans on stopping. Maybe he won't. I have a wire in my cheek. Just kidding. That's the lighting guy. The lighting guy sucks here. Ugh. Number 10, we have Metallica with 72 Seasons. An album featuring, interesting enough, Metallica's longest song, Immorata. Metallica seem to be picking up momentum as they get older, and Too Far Gone and Lux Eterna go shorter into the spectrum in a collection of 12 Metallica songs that really stand up to a large swaths of the band's catalog. Number 9, The Death of Randy Fitzsimmons by The Hives. I have never really paid much attention to this band, but I was skimming through the new releases on the week that this one came out, and I was absolutely floored. I was blown away. This is a fast-paced, brisk 31-minute rock album that goes harder than it has any right to, and some of my favorite songs on this are Two Kinds of Trouble and Trapdoor Solution. That's what all the songs sound like, just in your face. Definitively transforming me into a fan with this one. So way to go, The Hives. It's a game changer of an album. Number 8, Rancid's Tomorrow Never Comes. Rancid are my 66th favorite band, meaning that I like about 28% of what they do. I'm really into Indestructible, and most of their other albums are just kind of hit or miss for me, or I pick certain songs that I like from the other ones. But this one, it packs a punch while not straying too far away from what normal Rancid fans love. Are there normal Rancid fans? Number 7, yeah, just everybody chill out. Blink-182's One More Time. Yeah, this is an album that was just... it's being hailed as the most monumental, greatest achievement in all pop punk history. And, you know, I've been a Blink-182 fan since 1998. They are my 10th favorite band in the world. And I'm here to tell you, this is not their best. It's really, really good. It's touching on greatness, but it does have flaws. And Matt Skiba, some guy, and he was done dirty. I'm big into the Mark side of Blink-182 records, and Bad News is the best Mark song since Go. Number 6, Cracker Island by Gorillaz. Not the Gorillaz, but Gorillaz. Man, I feel like Cracker Island came out 25 years ago because I almost forgot it for this list. It feels like it was at least 2022, 2021. But Silent Running and Oil with Stevie Nicks just sends shivers through my soul. And I'm glad that Gorillaz diverted from churning out song machine after song machine after song machine. They're innovators, and they exist on Cracker Island as innovators, as what they continue to do with the music industry. Skinny Ape is another sparkler in this sea of gems. Glub, 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 glub. It's a really good album. I like it. It's not perfect, but I really, really like it. It's number 6 for 2023. Now, as we get into my top 5 albums of 2023, I think this is where the perfection starts to show its beautiful soul a little bit. And this first one, you might get a little upset with me, but it's my picks. These are my favorite 2023 records. Number 5, Confessions of the Fallen by Staind. I cannot believe this does not have a Wikipedia page. Now, Staind have been in kind of a tricky situation. They've been away, far away, for so long, and A.A. Ron Lewis has revealed himself to be nothing like the sad boy we once thought he was. That sad, bald boy we thought we could relate to. But Staind, the band, the collective entity with Aaron Lewis, did not miss a beat in 12 years plus, putting out the 5th best record of 2023, the first perfect album in my list here, in my opinion. 10 songs, 35 minutes, and no real low points of the bunch. Excellent single choices are one of the album's strengths because they are certainly the best of the bunch here, but the deep cuts are good too. One baffling thing about this record, like I said, this album does not have a Wikipedia page. Come on, Wikipedia. I know A.A. Ron's a little wacky, but we need album info, and we need it. We need it. We need it. Number 4 goes to Fall Out Boy. So much for Stardust, with parentheses in there. This is Fall Out Boy's best record ever. Period. This is what I want my favorite band named after a Simpsons character. Wait, is that right? This is what I want that band to sound like. It's all juicy, juicy, juicy. It's all juicy, but my favorite flavor of juice is that fake out stuff. It's like, oh, it's got that Green Day slime running through it like blood. Millennial woo, 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 woo. Whoa. So we've got this is my, look at a roll up version. We got to roll up one sleeve now because, I think you might know what my number 2 record is, but you don't know what my top 3 are. You only know the middle one. Number 3, third best record of the year, goes to Hang Dog by Ford and the Strange Band. This is a Coleman and his strange band of individuals are building up their catalog with their second perfect record in the span of 2 years. And I was talking to somebody earlier today in the comments about how I was surprised by this record, and that I hope that that continues with the rest of Four and the Strange Band's career, the rest of their albums. I was surprised that they went such a traditional country route on the second one when the first record was so weird and strange and experimental. But then that's kind of the point, right? You don't know what to expect from this band. You don't know which way they're going to go. And so they've got the very experimental first record. They've got this really gorgeous country, like traditional country. Like, this is not pop country. This is real, meaty, weighty, dark country music, like traditional country music. And there's a little bit of rock and roll in there. You know, they got the Bad Brains cover as a beautiful bookend to the record. But if you have not heard of Four and the Strange Band, I highly suggest Southern Circus and now Hangdog. Just a 100% catalog right there. Every song, great. And now we are at the top two, and number two is definitely But Here We Are by the Foo Fighters. I enjoyed everything about this. We all hate what it took for Foo Fighters to get here, but here we are. I'm going to get choked up talking about this one. Dave Grohl is honest and emotional in such a direct and heartbroken sphere. It's both hard and easy to listen to, and I don't think that anyone else on this planet could have written this record. Foo Fighters have channeled Zeppelin before. They've channeled Queen before. But on this record, they channel all of those combined with the Beatles, and they do it well. They do it better than the Beatles at times. The Glass. The Glass breaks me. I wrote shreds me, but it breaks me. I found a person I love, and I was left to live without him. This whole album is about loss and death and hurting like no one has ever heard or written about before, and it shows a side of humanity that music has not shown us on any other record before. And the Grim Reaper is, in the script I wrote, can go to hell. But it's more complicated than that. We all have to deal with this. I am going to die. You are going to die. And I'm glad that I heard this record. It's extremely hard subject matter, and Dave Grohl created something reverent to that and kind of pushed past the reverence into irreverence and delivered something that we just really needed to get off of our chest and up from underneath us. Let's talk about my number one album now. I guarantee you, I don't guarantee anything, but I think that this one, I don't think that most people have heard of this record. And number one, the best album of 2023 as of November 23rd, when I'm filming this, This Is a Crime Wave by the Co-Defendants. I discovered this band, the Co-Defendants. Can't even pronounce them right. It's my favorite album of the year. The Co-Defendants. I was watching a Finn McKenty interview with Fat Mike of NoFX, and I kept wondering what Mike was referring to, Fat Mike. He kept talking about this band that he was really passionate about, that he was going to work with after NoFX was over, and him and Finn were talking about how the band, who does this band sound like? Nobody. You can't answer it. It doesn't sound like anybody or anything or any genre. And Fat Mike said that he was playing bass with them sometimes. And I looked up the co-defendants and found them. I found some of the most intense live performances, the most bizarre lyrical deliveries I've ever heard. And I have heard every song ever. This is really the future of punk rock. The closest band that I think that I could compare this to is the Transplants with Travis Barker, Skinhead Rob, and Tim Armstrong of Rancid, that made it up there somewhere in this list. And it's just dangerous music, guys. This is like sincerely dangerous. These guys look and sound unhinged. They sound like they might jump through your car stereo, they jump through your TV and assault you. Like they might really hurt you. What do I got here? They could potentially like take a baseball bat to your mouth and make you look like their lead singer, Sam King. Actually, they've got kind of two lead singers. We got Sam King. Sam King, who is the frontman of Get Dead. And then there's the rapper Ramos. And they are just wilding out behind this punk rock music. I've seen performances where Sam King looked like he was about to pass out from exhaustion or something else. And he at the time of some of the performances, he was missing teeth, and there's even lyrics about his teeth being missing. And this is just like, you gotta watch some of their live performances on YouTube. Just intense, crazy, gratifying. Like I watch it and I'm like, this is perfect music. This is like, it's almost too good. Like, oh my gosh. Whoa, this is the King album of 2023. Deserves to rule the underground. They deserve to go pop and turn flop. Not turn flop, that would be bad. I think they do rule the underground. I mean, they've got Fat Mike's blessing post NoFX. They're still kind of finishing up touring. But this is like what Fat Mike is passionate about. This is what I'm passionate about. And this is just, Sam King is just like demented. He's the most crazed singer I've ever heard in my life. And you really hear like he's really damaged and really hurt and really been through some things, and he's really put people through some things, and it is like disgusting, like dirty, infectious, raw, nasty stuff, and I think you should listen to it. Speaking of like weird stuff, I got some things that maybe didn't quite make the list, because I wanted 13 and then I got unlucky 14, but we got some honorable mentions here. We got Filter, Lil Uzi Vert, and Dolly Parton, for the sake of variety. Not Viagra. Variety. Industrial rock, rap, and even Dolly Parton, who's a rock star now. Country. Their 2023 output has renewed my faith in their music. So those are my favorite listening things in 2023. Thank you so much, and I hope that you like, comment, and subscribe on this video.